Hey guys, it's Alex here, and I'm back with Afan Lido for our season 35 now, February review. So halfway through our 35th season in the year 2048 now, still going. And yeah, there's been quite a lot to go through today. Lots of transfer business and a lot going out, to be fair. So I'll show you what happened going out. We did have a bit of a clear out, I have to say, bringing in 60 million in total. Half of that from one player, but we'll get to that. So firstly, Ian Dalziel, he went out for 5.25 million to Everton. Um, I decided this just due to the fact that he was sort of a backup anyway, and he was becoming more of a backup as we had youth players coming through. He was 27, so we decided to sell him now. 5.25 million isn't too bad for a player we got on a free from Lincoln 6 or so years ago, 6, 7. So pretty happy with that. Sam Summers went to Mansfield on a free. Pedro went to Ryder on a free. Max, young Brazilian left back, went to Airbus on loan. Daniel Taylor on loan to Ipswich, and then Adrian Smith on loan to Ryder. Then there's the big one, quite one that I was very surprised in. Jean Mario Puglio went to Real Madrid for 29.5 million, which I'm very surprised about. He's stayed here for 6 years, 6, 7 years. Um, Definitely our starting right back, very good right back. But to be fair, I didn't think I was going to get 30 million for a 27-year-old right back. Um, yeah, because he was worth about 12 or so million, and his contract was going to run out at the end of this year, and he wanted a massive wage hike to like 30 odd K or 35 odd K. So I decided might as well try and offer him out as 30 million. And like Dortmund offered like 15, but Real Madrid were just like, yeah, we'll pay 30 million, 29.5, there you go. So I just took that. That was pretty nice. 29.5 million for him. Um, and that is just, yeah, another big sale there. Adam Mansell, he went for 1 million to Fulham. Just one of those. It seems quite common in this game. Those Welsh strikers that never really make it anywhere, and even when they come to me, they don't do too well. But to get 1 million out of him, not too bad, seeing as he had quite a few loan spells actually. But yeah, uh, he just goes out the door. Ewan Patterson, he goes to Bolton for 250k. Never really quite made it. Got him for 56k from Hamilton, and he just never stepped up to what he could have been. Um, and in the end, just sell him on for a bit and have that sort of transfer clause on. Ryan Kelly, another one of those people. Sold him to 2 million for 2 million to Everton. Got him from Dundee for 73k. He did make quite a few appearances over the years, but never really was a prominent figure that I thought, oh yeah, I'll pick him. It was sort of like, oh, he hasn't had a game in a while, I'll put him in. So yeah, he went for 2 million, and if you sell on clauses, so that's pretty good. Another sale, quite a bigger sale. Barry Fields, 9 million to Lincoln. To be fair, this I didn't really need to do this, but I decided I might as well just to bring some more youth through. Um, so we brought him from 165k 4 seasons ago from Chelsea, and then sell him for 9 million when he's in the England team, which is quite nice. Um, so yeah, 27 years old. Thought I might just as well sort of give the youth a chance. I'm trying to give youth more of a sort of setup as we get older players coming through and a lot more foreigners. So that's what I was trying to do with this. Luke Martin though, he did leave for 500k to Hibernian. Never really made it. He did have some good seasons, but he just wasn't like the right quality, and he wanted a bigger wage hike, so I decided to let him go. Um, Jordan Martin as well, 3.4 million to Leicester. Quite surprised to get that much because he at some points I was offering him out for like a million and no one was biting. But then Leicester come back with 3.4, so I'm quite happy with that. He had some really good years for us, but just as time went on, there's better players coming around him, and he never really could sort of stand out in the Lido team. So gone to Leicester in the Championship, doing pretty well for them. So yeah, Patricio Daniel Fernandez went on loan to Shamrock. Alan Hire, quite an odd one by me. Normally I like to keep my young players, especially the young striker. 20 years old, 6.25 million to Wigan. He was just bitching constantly about like moaning about getting game time and stuff, and I gave him a bit, but he just eventually just went, no, I want to transfer. So I said, okay, 6.25 million, not too bad, 50% sell on. So if he does do really well, going to get quite a bit of money. So I was happy for him to leave, give some other younger strikers a chance. Um, then Josh Holmes, he left for 725k. Yep, could have sold him for quite a lot more a few years ago, but he just sort of petered off. 725k. There he goes. Ryan Potter as well. He left for 325k to Al Gharafa. Um, he was just I didn't want to let him go, but he said he wanted a new challenge, so he's gone to Al Gharafa in Qatar. That's how much is he on? 33k a week, a lot more than he was on at us. Um, but yeah, he wasn't really featuring anymore, so decided to let him go. Do the nicest thing possible and let him go. And then finally, Darren Hughes, 1.9 million to Wigan. Give younger goalkeepers a chance. Had him for 3 seasons from Chelsea, and then sell him on for 2 million. Not too bad there. So quite a lot money coming in. We had the four frees: Javier Palmer, Miller, Kurosawa, and Dale Ardley. A player we signed in January, who was like a 6 month and we got him early, was Sasha Frolich, Austrian attacking mid slash striker from Everton for 195k. They got him from Austria Vienna for 6.25k. A lot of loans didn't he did pretty well in for Derby, but yet to make an appearance for us. Hopefully, he can do well for us. But it was generally a backup. But let's see how things go with that. And then finally, the other transfer who comes in at the end of the year, the one I'm quite excited about actually is Teo Ilanio, if that's how you pronounce it, an Italian centre back. It is the sort of loan trick. 19, he's on loan at Fulham right now. He originally plays for Juventus, um, and he looks very, very good. Don't know how they let these players sort of go. I've got loads of players through this, but there you go. So he's going to be doing pretty well for us, I think, if he comes to us. So yeah. So onto the fixtures now. We actually had the Nelson testimonial against Barnet, due to the fact that Shamrock or Dungannon didn't really want to come play us. But yeah, a player that I didn't really actually think would actually make it after his loan to Sheffield United. Like I thought that was it, but then suddenly after that he just became our best left winger. Um, I guess it was sort of Hillier retiring and him stepping through did really well, and especially these last few seasons, he's done very, very well. Um, but yeah, it's been good to have him around. He's now 31, starting to go on the decline a bit, but he's still very good with his mental stats, which will be good for tutoring wise. He's tutored a lot of players, and he's still wanted by clubs, wanted by Tottenham. But yeah, so but after that, we went on our trip to Mexico, I think. Had a few wins, Arsenal and Chelsea. Then we went to Japan. No, this was Brazil. Yeah, went to Brazil. Then we had the chance to go to Japan because we have a feeder club there, which is quite nice. And then we went to America for our tours, which is quite nice. A lot of merchandising coming through there as well. So first game of the season, we had a TNS 4-1 win. Alan Henderson with the hat trick and Jordan with a goal. 6-0 versus Quaman, who are back in the league. Darren Baker, Malorgia with a hat trick, Stephen Knight and Kurosawa with his first goal for us. I think, if this is right, it's quite a good goal. I don't know if this is the right one, but look at that domination. 37 shots to 1, 17 on target, 0 on target. Complete domination by us there. Oh yeah, that's it. He scored his first goal for us from a from a corner, which is pretty incredible, I have to say. Um, let's put it on TV. But yeah, I just 89th minute, you take the corner, and then suddenly it just goes top net. It was a bit off the goalkeeper, I have to say. Um, but still, like, pretty amazing here. There you go. There we go. So first goal for you for your club, not too bad from a corner like that. Look at that. Just keeper bats it into his own net, which is a bit weird, but I'll take it. Ryder was a 6-1 win after that, though. Capaferri with a hat trick. So we had three players with three different hat tricks in the first 3 games in the league, which is quite nice. Malorgio, Markey, and Alan Henderson with the goals there. 3-1 over Newtown. Henderson, Malorgio, and Elias. Three very, very good attackers for us there coming through. We had Benfica in the first round of first game of the Champions League group away. Capaferri, Nelson, and Henderson gave us a 3-1 win. Bangor City was a 4-1 win. Kurosawa with his first hat trick for the club. which was quite nice, and Miller with goals. Um, Prestien, it's a 4-0 win. Abazatoe, Ferguson, Elias, and Alimi. 5-2 off over Marseille, who were the next group game. Henderson with 2, Nelson with 2, and Capazielli with 1. 2-0 versus Airbus, Malorgia and Abazatoe. 3-1 versus Abayuni, Kevin White with 2, and Gianata Capaferri with 1. Real was a 0-0 draw. Um, that was quite annoying actually. So wasn't yeah, it was quite annoying. We did have the sort of second team out in a way, but still, you'd expect us to sort of have a team to beat Real. And then we beat Juventus 7-0. Um, it's just we have a thing with Juventus. We can beat them just ridiculous amounts. Henderson with 2, Davies, Wade with 2, Capaferri and Malorgio. I'll show you Juventus actually, because I think it'll be easier to show you because they don't really have anything. So they lost to us 7-0. The last time they played us was back in 2039, I think. Let's go all the way back there. 2039, where they lost 6-0 and 7-0. And then I think they played us once or twice before that. Back in the days. That 3-0 loss and a 4-1 win actually. But yeah, generally we have the like 6-0, 7-0, and 7-0 has been pretty crazy against them so far. I don't know why. Just the goals flow against Juventus. Maybe it's the formations, but I don't know. But then after that was ABBA, who was quite tougher than Juventus, to be fair. A 1-0 win with Elias with the goal there. Premier League Cup quarter-final was a 3-0 win over Ryder, Davies, Nelson, and Baker. 3-0, 5-0 actually, sorry, against ABBA Uni. Louis Javier Pom with his first goal for the club. Abazatoe and Ferguson with 2, and Elias with 1. Juventus in the turnaround, 2-0 away. Quite disappointing not to score more, but 2-0 win still good. Henderson and Capaferri. 5-0 win over Tredegar in the Welsh Cup. Malorgia with a hat-trick and Kevin White with 2. Premier League Cup semi-final was a 1-0 win over ABBA. Nelson with goal. We have quite a few 1-0 wins over ABBA now. Very close games, which is good. Competition in the league, so that's quite nice to see. TNS was a 2-0 win. Malorgia and Gareth Blackburn with goals. Benfica at home was a 3-0 win. Davies with 2 and Baker with 1. 4-0 versus Kramerman away. Palmer with a hat-trick also, and Grinley. Kerr 6-0. Henderson with 1. Nelson, Malorgio, Markey, Owen Sheridan, and Sam Davies. So 6 different goal scorers there, which is quite nice to see. Ryder was a 2-0 win. Joe Alimi and Jimmy Elams. Then we had a 0-0 versus Marseille away, which was quite annoying. I thought I wanted the sort of whole thing, but we did dominate. We just couldn't get the goal. That was the last group game. So this is the group. We finished top, 16 points. Then Marseille with 10. Benfica, and then Juventus bottom of the group, which is a bit crazy. If we look at the other groups, Olympiacos finished top of their group against Monaco. Man City, Copenhagen going through, which is quite cool to see. Bayern and Inter, Real Madrid only getting third. Chelsea and Atletico, Milan getting third in that group. Then you got Ajax beating out Dortmund, which is pretty. But Ajax, the Dutch teams are doing pretty well actually. Then you got Lincoln finishing top of their group over Barca, which is a bit crazy. Valencia finishing top of their group over PSG. Then us, and that's it for the group stage, I guess. Otherwise, in other terms, I think for the other clubs in Wales, ABBA Uni did the best. They got through their Euro Cup playoff very closely against Besiktas. But then they went into their Euro Cup group. They lost to PSV, lost to Stade Rennais. They drew with Oro from Switzerland twice. Then they beat PSV away, and then they drew with Stade Rennais. So that gave them a third place finish in the group, which was quite nice to see. We also had ABBA. They didn't get through versus Olympiacos in the best place qualifying thing. Got to the Euro Cup playoff, but lost to Vic Guimaraes 2-1 on aggregate. So really unfortunate there. TNS went out first round to AEK. Real actually also got to the Euro Cup playoff. So it was the first time we had 3 teams in the Euro Cup playoff, which is quite nice to see, and it will be helping the Welsh coefficient. They beat JJK from Finland, yeah. Then they beat Debrecen, which is quite cool, and then they lost Slovan Liberec 8-1 on aggregate. Unfortunate for them there. I think otherwise, is there anyone else? No, I think that was it for qualifying, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty good to see us doing well in Europe as a country, I guess. Newtown, though, after that was a 2-0 win. Abazatoy and Malorgio. 7-1 over Prestien. Sheridan with a hat-trick. Palmer with 2 and Ferguson with 2. Um, then we had Bangor City, and that was a Darren Baker hat-trick with the penalty to finish it off. And Markey with the goals. We had 4 goals from defenders there, which is pretty cool, but pretty bad from the strikers. 1-0 over Airbus. Palmer with the goal. 2-0 over Real. Capaferri and Wade. A 3-3 draw with ABBA. Abazatoy, Malorgio and Baker with our goals. Really annoying we couldn't win that. And then actually really close game against Care as well, which was a 1-0 win through a Sam Davies extra time winner. 2-1 over Airbus, not Airbus, ABBA. Henderson with both goals. 5-0 against TNS. Malorgio, Kurosawa, Alan Grindlay, Alan Henderson, and Joe Alimi. So that is it so far. If we look at the league, we are top. 20 wins, 2 draws, 62 points. ABBA in second with 46, and then Airbus, not Airbus, I keep saying Airbus, I have a fixation with them today. ABBA Uni, only 3 points behind. Then you got Newtown, Real, Care. For the first time ever, TNS not in the promotion, like the second top half. They're in the relegation half of the league. They're currently sitting in 8th. They are really dropping. Like, I don't know what's happened to them. They've just lost it. But to be fair, though, this is probably one of the biggest like divisions in the bottom. Kwamaman and Prestien 8 and 4 points. They're like 13. No, not 13. God, 17 points off. Like, well, Prestien are from Airbus. Both of them were basically relegated before even the split. This is the split, so they're basically relegated already. It's crazy. But yeah, odd to see not to see TNS there, but ABBA and ABBA Uni have really pushed up to take their second and third bit, and Newtown are pushing as well. It was just last day, I think TNS dropped to 8th, which is pretty crazy. If we look at the stats for the league, player-wise, we got average rating. We got Palmer up there, along with Jordan and Castaneda. And then otherwise, we got assists. Elias got 7 goals. Reese Wigg still banging them in for ABBA. But nothing else really. But oh yeah, it's conceded. Josh Holmes got none. Dale Hardy's got 1. Darren Hughes got 1. Fernandez got 1. But 2 of them have left. But yeah, so if I look at our team with their stats, goals wise, 15 for Malorgio and 15 for Henderson. So sharing it between them. To be fair, they've both had like 15 and 16 starts, which is quite cool. Capaferri with 8, 7 from Palmer. I think people are away on international duty. If I put on loan, I'll try. There we go. Yeah, so 8 from Capaferri, 7 from Palmer, 7 from Baker, 6 from Davies and Nelson. Kurosawa's got 5, along with Abazatoy and Ferguson, and then you got everyone else. Assist wise though, Nelson's got 11. Palmer's got 7, along with Elias and Henderson. 6 from Capaferri, 5 from Kurosawa and Davies. Average rating wise, Stephen Knight and Kevin White both have pretty good ones, but they've only played a few games. Otherwise, from that, Palmer's got a very good one, along with Alexei Kolesnikov, our Russian centre back. He's been in quite a few more games and doing very well in them, which is good to see. And then you got Darren Baker, who's really broke through actually as our sort of a first string centre back. A while ago, I was thinking of selling him, but he's really done well for us. But yeah, so that's good to see. But otherwise, I don't think there's really that much to go through. Fixtures wise, we have Inter actually in the Champions League first knockout round. Inter there, you got Copenhagen, Valencia, Atletico Olympiacos, Chelsea, Barca, Monaco, Bayern, City, Marseille, Inter versus us, PSG versus Man United, and Ajax versus Lincoln. So those are the knockout rounds there. Welsh Cup quarter-final versus Real, Welsh Premier League Cup final versus Newtown. But yeah, if I show you our bank though, actually we've got 85 million in the bank due to our sales over the years, which is pretty incredible, I'd have to say. Affiliated clubs, is there any change? Um, as well, I showed you. Well, I said we have a new Japanese feeder club, Sapporo Mythos, who are also you seem to have. So we should have some Japanese people coming through, and then we also have Samsunspor, who are from Turkey. So we should have them. So we got Spain, Brazil, Nigeria, Mexico, Turkey, Japan, and Russia. So we got quite a few. We're getting quite a lot of money spent, but I think it's worth it for the players we're coming through. Because if you look at our under 19s and reserves, um, we've had Kolesnikov, Minkov, Daniel Diaz, Fernandez. You had Nukwaku. He hasn't played much, but still. You got Alimi, reserves wise. There we go. You got Elias. There's Alimi. So yeah, there's quite a lot of good players coming through just due to these sort of setups. And it does sort of increase your merchandising as well, which is quite nice to see. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think at the end of this season, I'm going to do a full like squad review and stuff because to be fair, I always talk about players, but I never really go through them. And so I decided end of season 35, going to do a squad review and go through players and sort of plans on what's going to happen for next season or two. But yeah, so anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been Alex, and I'll see you guys later.